Rasulullah Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayka sayyidi ya Rasulallah. Welcome back to the session of fiqh. And alhamdulillah, we reached to the point that we wanted to talk about the madhahib and the existence of the madhahib. And alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had gifted us the time so we can talk about our imams, and alhamdulillah, and with, like, if you included this lecture, that would be almost like 4 hours total, while we are talking just about Imam Abu Hanifa. And Imam Abu Hanifa, the oldest madhab, if you just wanted to compare between the four madhahib, so he was the oldest madhab, or the owner of the oldest madhab. Alhamdulillah, we talk about his biography, about his name, about when he was born, where he was born, what about the background related to the area that he was born in, what happened, what about his sheikhs, his imams, who take the knowledge from whom. We talked about when he was young, when we talked about his father, Thabit ibn Mirziban, or Thabit ibn Zota, and we talked about the story of the marriage of his father, and we talked about how he raised him and how he took care of him, and about his merchandise, his trade, and how honest he was. You know, we talked about many aspects of his life. And if you remember last time, alhamdulillah, we spoke about his way of thinking and his honesty, and how he was so trustworthy. And today also we talk about, you know, what he was good at. Okay, so we said that he was good at fiqh. He was a specialist in fiqh, but in fiqh itself, debating, yes. So he was, and that's why his school always, it's called the school of al-Ra'i. Al-Ra'i means opinion. He has that skill to debate, and whatever he debates about, he wins. And mashallah, Allah granted him this skill. And also at the end of the lecture, inshallah, we're going to talk about the last days in his life, how Imam Abu Hanifa passed away and what happened. And he has 2 trials, 2 times that he was subjected to a hard test. And we will get to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him to pass this test. And we are talking about one of our greatest scholars. And subhanallah, Allah granted him wisdom, Allah granted him knowledge. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower him with his mercy. Allahumma ameen. So he was so brilliant in debating. And Imam Abu Hanifa, we have, if you studied his biography, you will get to know that he has many incidents in debating, and all of them he won. He won all of them. And one day he was debating with one of the atheists, and that atheist, the people in the souk, you know, most of the debate used to be in the marketplace, not in the masajid. In the souk, in the marketplace. So the man, that atheist, all people were angry of him, because the man used to, you know, shout and yell at them, and he used to let people feel doubt about their iman, about the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one day he had a debate with Imam Abu Hanifa, and Imam Abu Hanifa came late. He came very late, and the man was so upset. When the Imam Abu Hanifa came, he started to, to yell at Imam Abu Hanifa, why are you late? What happened? He said, I have a valid reason, actually, because I have to pass the river to come to the debate. And I waited long time waiting for the ship to be made by itself. So I waited for the wind to blow, so it will bring all the wood together, and it will create a ship for me. And then after the nature had created the ship for me, it took a long time. And I waited longer so the wind will blow so I can arrive to you. The man said, are you crazy? Do you want me to believe that the wind created and made the shape for you so you can come? He said, and you want me to believe that all this creation came just by nature and there is no creator? The debate done. You know, and he won the debate. That was one of the fastest debates that he made. That is Imam Abou Hanifa. You know, and also, subhanallah, that reminds me of a debate of some of the Shias, you know, and because like we have some sectors of them, they are so extreme to the point that they deny the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah guide all of us. Allahumma ameen ya rabbil alameen. So one of the scholars was debating with one of the Shias. So while he is entering to the place of debate, he took his shoes under his armpit. And they said, why is that? You are a scholar and everyone is watching you. They are waiting for you. And now you keep your shoes. You are afraid that it will be stolen, you know? So he said, because I have heard that the Shias at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to steal the shoes. So they said there weren't Shias at the time of the Prophet Muhammad to steal shoes. He said, so where did you come from? You know? It's the debate done. So that kind of debate tells you about that intellectual ability for the scholars. And subhanallah, Imam Abou Hanifa was good at that kind of debate. And one day, a Christian wanted to debate with him. And subhanallah, they said he demolished his doctrine in just 2-3 minutes about the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said about your son, could you tell me that your son became, the son of the Christian, became before your existence? He said, no, that's absolutely wrong. He said, do you think that he will be with you at the same time of existence? Like if you was born in October 10th, for example, okay? So he also was created at October 10th, the same day, the same minute. He said, that's impossible. He said, so how could you claim that the Son and the God didn't leave and didn't separate even 1 minute? That's that he is destroying the Trinity doctrine. So that's the case. And also, one of the things that we know about Imam Abou Hanifa, when he was 11 years old, 11 years old, that tells you about how he was the smart he was, how smart he was, that when even 11 years old, a man a disbeliever was debating with him. And he said, you are talking about Allah, Allah, Allah. Who was before Allah? Who was before Allah? That's question number one. And question number two, in which direction Allah face right now? In which direction Allah is facing right now? And question number three, what's your Allah is doing right now? What is Allah or what Allah is doing right now? 3 questions. And people in the market got fed up because of that person. And he was standing on a piece of rock, screaming with the 3 questions, and no one could stop him. And who is there? Imam Abou Hanifa, 11 years old. So he came to the man and he said, what is your first question? He said, who was before Allah? He said, could you please count from 10 to 1? Because at that time wasn't 0 yet. Could you count from 10 to 1 backwards? He started to count till he reached to 1. They said, what is before 1? He said, nothing. He said, can't you go further? He said, I cannot. He said, the same is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The same applies to Allah. Nothing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is number 1. He's saying, which direction Allah is facing? He said, could you light up a candle in a room? Could you determine which direction of the light goes? It encompasses all the room. He said, that is exactly the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. And for number 3, could you please, before I give you the answer, could you please switch the places? Imam Abu Hanifa was on the ground and the man was on the rock. So he said, why? He said, so I wanted everyone to hear my answer. So they switched. Now Imam Abu Hanifa on the rock and the man down. So he said, what was the third question? He said, what's your Lord is doing right now? What's Allah is doing right now? He said, Allah is humiliating people by putting them down, and Allah is raising people like me by putting me in above. You know? Look at Imam Abu Hanifa, subhanallah. That was his personality. And he used to win the debates. So Imam Abu Hanifa, one of the good and the funny questions came to him. A man came to him and he said, yeah, Imam. And the man came after Salatul Isha, came and he was, you know, like crying in the masjid. He said, what happened? He said, I have lost my gold. I had gold and I have lost my gold. He said, that's very easy. Can you remember where you put it? He said, no, I cannot. I cannot remember where I put. I don't know where I put my gold. He said, that's very easy. Go to pray from that time after Isha till Fajr time. And then you will find it. He said, is there any certain dua that he said, no, even without du'as, go and pray. And the man went to pray. Then he remembered and he got the gold. And people the next day wondered, how could you know that he will find it? He said, because the shaitan, I know the shaitan will come to remind him of the place of the gold, so he will get to know. So he said, I know that's one of the tricks of the shaitan. That the shaitan wanted to let him not to concentrate in the salah, and the shaitan will let him remember where he put the gold. So these are, you know, the situations happened with Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah. Imam Abu Hanifa also had students. As you know, some of them, we mentioned some of the names, but he used to teach his students the knowledge, and he used to give them the advice. Like one of his advice to the students, that istaghfiru li abaikum, make istighfar for your parents. Istaghfiru li mashayikhikum, make istighfar for your sheikhs when they pass away. And also, وَأَكْثِرُوا مِن مُجَالَسَةِ الْمَشَايِخِ, and be close to the sheikhs and the imams of knowledge. And why is that? Because when you are close to them, you will get to know something. You will get to know something. You will get to know knowledge. Otherwise, if you didn't get even any knowledge, you will see some adab, some etiquette. They will remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you know, he himself, he said that. He said, I have 36 students, what he considers as scholars. His own and his close students, his ashab. What we call it, we call them the companions of Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah. So he has very close students. How many of them? 36. 36 students. And he said 28 of them capable of being judges. 28 of them are able to be judges. And 6 of them can be mujtahideen. Mujtahid means scholars can give fatwa on their own right. So they can be mujtahideen, 6 of them. And 2 of them can superseding my opinion. They can supersede my opinion. They can debate with me. And sometimes I consider their opinion even more than my opinion. 2 of them. Do you know the names of those 2? Abu Yusuf, one of them. Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf, the judge Abu Yusuf. And I will tell you a good story tonight about Abu Yusuf. And the other one is not Al-Hassan al-Shaybani. Yes, Al-Hassan al-Shaybani, also one of his closest students. And I will tell you facts today about Abu Hassan. But he said two of them can debate and they can supersede my opinion. Abu Yusuf, one of them, and the second one is Dhufar ibn Hudayl. And Dhufar, one of the students of Imam Abu Hanifa, actually he was closer than Abu Yusuf. But now the question is, why do we not know too much about Dhufar? That's the first time we hear about this name. Dhufar, too much of people who are following the madhab, the Hanafi madhab, don't know anything. Even they didn't hear about this name, Dhufar. Because Dhufar was the closest. Yes, he was the closest, but he died right after Imam Abu Hanifa. He didn't live long. He died right after Imam Abu Hanifa, and he didn't live long, so he didn't have a chance to transmit the knowledge of Imam Abu Hanifa to people. He didn't write, books. He didn't write too much after the death of Imam Abu Hanifa. But that is about Dhufar. And the second one is whom? Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf. What's his name? That's the kunya, that's the title. And who gave him this title, Abu Yusuf? Abu Yusuf, Imam Abu Hanifa himself gave him this title. And that was one of the tradition at that time, that every imam, every scholar used to give titles, kunya, to his students. So Imam Abu Hanifa named him Abu Yusuf, but that wasn't his real name. His name is, and when you will know the name, you will get to know that Abu Yusuf makes sense. His name is Yaqub ibn Ibrahim. So who was Abu Yusuf? He was the father of Yusuf, Yaqub. That's why he gave him that title, Abu Yusuf. So his name is Yaqub ibn Ibrahim. Yaqub, the son of Ibrahim. And one of the things that we need to know about Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf Yaqub ibn Ibrahim, that he was so intelligent, was so smart. You have some types of children, some types of kids, they talk early, they speak early. Imam Yaqub ibn Ibrahim, or Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf, he was able to say sentences even before the age of 1 year. So everyone knew that he would become eloquent, become intelligent. And when he was young, Imam Abu Hanifa went to his house, and he almost, I will not say adopted, but he took care of him to say to the limit, to the point that he sponsored him. Imam Abu Hanifa sponsored Abu Yusuf when he was young, and he took him from his mother, and his mother, I like this statement. His mother started to cry when he took the child. He said, Abu Hanifa, why are you taking my son, Yaqub? He said, I wanted to teach him Islam. She cried, and she said, you know what? I was hoping that one day he will be a doctor, will be like engineer, will be a politician, so he will have a good name. Now you wanted to make him a sheikh, it's just sheikh. Well, so he will be imam, he will know Islam. I wanted something higher than this. He said, don't worry, I promise you that I will raise him in such a way that he will have the status that the kings will feed him by their own hands. By their own hands. The kings themselves will honor him, will feed him by their own hands. That was the promise, and that happened. That happened after the death of Imam Abu Hanifa. So he raised him, and you know what? Imam Abu Yusuf said that. He said, he took care of me, And after each and every lecture, he used to tell him, did you understand this? Do you want me to elaborate more, to explain more to you? Are you aware of what I said? He used to revise him. He used to give him something privately. And he mentioned also that Imam Abu Hanifa used to pay for him and for his family for 10 years. He funded the entire family from his own money for 10 years. Subhanallah. Imam Abu Hanifa loved Imam Abou Yusuf too much. He was very close to him. And what can I see so funny? You remember the story happened with his Sheikh Hamad? You forgot the story? When he traveled to Mecca and he said, now I will have my own halaqah, and he started to give fatwas. Almost the same happened with his students. So one day Abu Yusuf got sick, severe sick. And Imam Abu Hanifa thought that Abu Yusuf had passed away. So in his lecture, he praised his student in such amazing and beautiful way. Of course, we don't have too much time to explain how he praised. But the main point here, that when the statements of praise went to Abu Yusuf and he didn't pass away, he felt that, you know what, from today, I will have my own halaqah because he praised me. He praised me, and now I will have my own halaqah. Imam Abu Hanifa, the news reached to him that his students now, he has his own halaqah. So he sent a person to confuse him. He sent a person to ask him a question to confuse him. And what was the question? He said, and the man went to Abu Yusuf and he said, you know what? Imagine if you took your thobe, your garments, to a tailor, to tailor it. So, and you give him money in advance. And that tailor told you, come after 2 days to pick up your clothes. And when you went after 2 days, the man told you, you didn't give me garments, you didn't give me anything. And after that, the tailor repented. And he said, I'm sorry, I intended to steal it, but now take your clothes. He said, now, should the tailor give the money back to the man? Or should he keep the money for himself? So, because he gave it to them, he gave it to him very late. So he has to pay something for not fulfilling the time. So he said, if Abu Yusuf told you that the tailor should keep the money, tell him you are wrong. And if he told you that the tailor should give the money back, tell him you are wrong. So, so he told him, so he got confused. So now he wanted someone to ask. So do you expect he will go to whom? So he returned it to Imam Abu Hanifa. He went back to Imam Abu Hanifa. And now he came to him. And that was the first meeting after he started his own halaqah. Now you can imagine what happened. So he said, he told him the question. He didn't know that he was the owner of the question. So, so he told him, we will ask the tailor about his intention. If he intended to steal the garments before the work, that means the contract is valid and he has to give the money back. If he intended to steal the garments after he finished the work, so the contract is valid and the steal is another transaction, is another case. So he has to keep the money. So let's see his intention first. If he intended to steal it before even to work, regardless of the contract, so the money has nothing to do with the case, so let him pay the money, let him give the man the money back. And if he intended after he finished the work, so that means he deserves the money. Look at how he was so smart. So Imam Abou Yusuf at that time said, but I failed to answer the question. He said, leave your halaqah and sit down here, get the knowledge first, then you have your own halaqah after my death. And that what happened. So in Imam Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf, also he was so smart. And by the way, Imam Abu Hanifa sent Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf to Al-Imam Malik to get his knowledge. Listen to this carefully. Al-Imam Abu Hanifa advised him to go to Al-Imam Malik to get his knowledge. You know what some people think, that it's a shortage in the strategy or in the madhab of Imam Abu Hanifa. What do you think? As a shortage in his madhab? Huh? Not enough hadith, not enough dalil, not enough evidence, because that wasn't his field. And not too much a hadith had reached to Imam Abu Hanifa. So he wanted to fill that gap by sending Abu Yusuf to Al-Imam Malik. He was the one who was famous of the hadith, so he can fill that gap. And that is what exactly Imam Abu Yusuf had done with the madhab. If you wanted to count the opinions of Imam Abu Hanifa, you will have equal amount of cases for Abu Yusuf. Let's say that Imam Abu Hanifa has 10,000 cases in his madhab, his own opinion. You will find that Imam Abu Yusuf also has the same number, 10,000 cases. Because he took both of the knowledge of Imam Abu Hanifa plus the ahadith, the evidences from Imam Malik. And I will tell you how they met, both of them, Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik. Because actually the main reason why we study this, not to be extreme about your madhab. We need to have this flexibility. We need to have that respect to the rest of the madhab. We are not worshipping certain madhab. We respect our imams, our scholars, of course, but not to the point that we make them gods or even messengers. No. Okay, so we need to pay attention for this. So he sent him to Imam Malik, and he got the knowledge from Imam Malik and their hadith. And of course, you know, Imam Abu Yusuf, the student of Imam Abu Hanifa, he became the judge, and not even judge. He became judge of the whole judges in the city. And yes, Chief Justice. And not only this, he used to hire and assign the judges in the whole Khilafah. He was responsible to choose judges in the whole cities, all countries, in Egypt, in Baghdad, in Sham, Syria, whatever. They were relating to Abu Yusuf, and he was the head of all judges. And by the way, one of the things I wanted just you to know, I feel like I'm fighting the time here. Imam Abu Yusuf, he was so smart. And at the time of Harun al-Rashid, the Khalifa, you know, the kingdom of Harun al-Rashid was so wide, was so vast. He has so big and vast and wide kingdom. And one night, he had a fight with his wife. You know, mashallah, we are Arabs. Sometimes we create some weird cases when it comes to the divorce. You know, wallahi, you know, when if you wanted to solve some of the divorce cases for some Arab people, you know, they say oath and swears, which is so difficult. You know, someone says like to his wife, you know, you will be divorced if you didn't take the garbage Mondays, Thursdays, and so what's the relationship of the garbage with your wife? You know, That does not make any sense. Yes. So huh? Yeah, the custom of the har also. Yeah, sometimes that happens. And Harun al-Rashid did the same. So one night he told his wife, he was angry at her, and he said to her, you will be divorced if you didn't leave my kingdom this night. If you stayed in my kingdom for more than one night, you will be divorced. Look at to his kingdom. So that is impossible. So no transport, no flights, no airplanes. Okay, she cannot leave the kingdom in one night. His own kingdom, she has to be somewhere under his own kingdom. So that's impossible. And after he said that, he felt regret. He said, what did I say? I don't want to divorce my wife, but I have to solve the yamin, the oath that I said. So he sent to Abu Yousuf, the student of Imam Abou Hanifa. He said to him, that's so easy. He said, what happened? He said, let her sleep this night in the masjid, because the masjid is the house of Allah. It's not under your kingdom. Okay? So the masjid, and which is right. The masjid is the house of Allah, and it's not, and the masjid was in front of the palace. So she just passed the street and she went and slept the night in the masjid, and he solved the problem. You see, so that's the case. Imam Abou Yousuf, we have lots of, Wallahi al-Azim, we have heroes in our history, but unfortunately Muslims don't know anything about them. Like most of Muslims don't know and they don't read. You know, we have two famous books are sold out from our libraries. The most two books sold out. You don't find them nowadays. The first one is how to cook, you know, and the second one is the interpretations of the dream. So one of the scholars said, you know, Tafsir al-Ahlam li Ibn Sirin, the interpretation for the dreams of Imam Ibn Sirin, that's sold out. Because one of the scholars commented on this, and he said, because nowadays we are ummah, just eat and sleep. That's what concerns us. We just eat, that's why we buy how to cook, you know? And we sleep a lot, and we need to know the interpretations of the dream. That's which is right. Which is right. Imam Abou Yousuf had wrote many books, but just two of them survived. Two of them had survived. The first one, his response to Al-Imam Al-Awzari. Al-Imam Al-Awzari was so harsh on Imam Abou Hanifa because of their hadith. So when he got the knowledge of Imam Malik in hadith, Imam Abou Yousuf started to respond on behalf of his Imam Abou Hanifa. And that was the first book. And we have it till today. And the second one is so important. It is called the Book of Kharaj. Kharaj or Kharj. Both of them can work. Kharj. So what is Kharj? It's in the economic. So Kharj means taxation. Actually, Imam Harun al-Rashid or Khalifa Harun al-Rashid had told him, can you please collect all the rules related to taxation, the Kharj, so I can use it in the law? He said, yes, of course. And he wrote very excellent book in taxation. And in a matter of fact, till today, you have Muslims and non-Muslim countries, they are using the principles of Imam Abou Yousuf, the student of Imam Abou Hanifa, in taxation law. And they are using his principles in the economy till today. His principles in economy are used by Muslims and non-Muslims countries And you can search on that. You will find very, amazing principles he made in economy. So that was for his students. And Dr. Rahim also mentioned the third student. So the first one is Dhufar, the second is Abu Yusuf, and the third one Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani. We said Imam Abu Hanifa sponsored Imam Abu Yusuf when he was young. And the same happened with Ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani. Actually, when you hear his name, you think that he was old man. When I was, the first time I was studying the biography of Imam Abu Hanifa, I was in the middle school. So, when every time my teacher says Ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani, in my mind, he should be like 70s and 80s, because the word Shaybani means shape, comes from shayb. Shayb, yeah, like old man. So when you hear Abu al-Hasan al-Shaybani, the combination of the name, you think like he's old man. So till my teacher in the middle school reached to the point to tell us about his age when Imam Abu Hanifa passed away. When Imam Abu Hanifa passed away, the age of Imam Hassan al-Shaybani was 18 years old. Just 18 years old. When Imam Abu Hanifa passed away, Imam al-Shaybani was 18 years old. So think about when he sponsored him and he started to study and to attend his circles. And one of the things that you need to know, the first time he came to the halaqah, to the dars of Imam Abu Hanifa, he rejected him. And what's the reason? When he entered to the halaqah and he wanted to sit down, he said, "Hey, are you hafiz for the Quran?" He said, "No, I'm not hafiz for the Quran." He said, "Go back and get hifz of Quran and come back. Go and memorize the Quran and come back, so you will be qualified to just sit in the halaqah of Imam Abu Hanifa." So the halaqah of Imam Abu Hanifa had scholars of knowledge. Could you imagine? So all of his students and those who used to attend his halaqah are already hafiz for the Quran. That's the minimum that he can accept. So nowadays, if we have Muslims and we have Imam Abu Hanifa, Allah sent him back in 2021. And if we have people and we got to know announcement on Facebook, we have tonight lecture for Imam Abu Hanifa. But the minimum requirements to attend his halaqah is to complete the hifz of the entire Quran. How many people could attend for Imam Abu Hanifa? Just think about this. At least 36, but that was at his time, So he will not bring them. He will not bring his students to him. So you see, Dr. Rahim said at least 36 his students. Allah will resurrect him with his students. Okay, but that tells you about how they were so strong in their hifz, in their dedication to get the knowledge of Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us. Allahumma ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Yes. Imam Abu Hanifa, do you mean? Yeah. Yes, we will come to know. But I just wanted to tell you something before we talk about the last days in his life. I was talking about Abu Hassan al-Shaybani. That when he was 18 years old when Imam Abu Hanifa passed away. You know what? The one who spread the knowledge of Imam Abu Hanifa was Abu Hassan al-Shaybani. The one who spread it in Egypt, in Iraq, in the Muslim world. the one who sent it to Pakistan, to India, to Bangladesh, to every corner in the Islamic world, was Abu Hassan al-Shaybani, because he was the one who transmitted the knowledge of Imam Abu Hanifa. He wrote lots of books because he lived long after the death of Imam Abu Hanifa. So I just wanted in these couple minutes to tell you something about the two times of trials. I told you Imam Abu Hanifa was arrested in his life. He lived, how many years he lived? 70? 70 years. So he lived 70 years. But he has two times of big trials, tribulations during his lifetime. The first one at the time of Zayd ibn Ali. Sorry, at the time of Zayd ibn Ali, but the Khalifa at that time was Yazid ibn Amr ibn Habratin. So, or Hubayratin. Yazid ibn Amr, Yazid ibn Umar. Yazid ibn Umar, he was the wali. The wali means the governor at that time. Imam Abu Hanifa, in his political opinion, was following Zayd ibn Ali, was supporting him. Zayd ibn Ali was against the governor. So when the governor heard that Imam Abu Hanifa is supporting his opponent, he decided to take revenge. He decided to arrest him and to put him in the jail. When he put him into jail, he directed the prisoner to lash him. So he lashed Imam Abu Hanifa 100 lashes in the prison. And at that time, so that was political fight, not what wasn't religious one. At that time, after a short time of arresting, he freed him. And some narration said that Imam Abu Hanifa escaped from jail and he went to Mecca. He didn't stay in Al-Kufa anymore. He went to Mecca and he lived in Mecca. At that time, he met whom? Al-Imam Malik, exactly. He met Al-Imam Malik, and both of them, now you can see, Imam Malik and Imam Abu Hanifa, both of them in one place, in one house. They were in the house of Imam Malik. So he hosted him. And they sat together, they started to discuss the knowledge together. Can you imagine the students of Imam Malik and the students of Imam Abu Hanifa? They are waiting for that meeting. What's the outcome will happen? What will happen? What could happen? They solved many of the issues together. Some narration said both of them, after a long time, every day, they used to sit together to study and to solve the common problems between the madhahib. The differentiation between the madhahib, they used to sit every day, not less than 10 hours. Most of the day. And people used to, after they finished the meeting, people used to see them sweat after the long discussion. Now you see two heroes, two great scholars are talking, and no students were allowed to sit with them. And after they finished the discussion, it took a long time, days and weeks. After they finished, Imam Abu Hanifa praised Imam Malik. And he said, هذا على الصراط المستقيم. That man is following the right path. He meant whom? Imam Malik. And Imam Malik praised Imam Abu Hanifa. And he said that very famous statement. He said, I had just met the most intelligent person in my life, and the person who has the knowledge of debate. If he wanted to convince you that pillar in the masjid, which is made out of cement, if he wanted to convince you that it's made out of gold, he would do this. So he's talking now about that how he was so brilliant and intelligent. Look at how they respected each other. And nowadays, we think it's a fight. We think it's, no, my madhab, no, my sheikh, my madhab. We became so extreme, wallahi. If Allah is going to resurrect both of them, Imam Malik and Imam Abu Hanifa, they would tell to their followers, we don't accept, what are you doing? If they saw how people went so extreme in, considering their madhab, they would cancel their madhab because of this. Just because of this. So that was the first trial. He stayed in Mecca till the time of Al-Abbasi, Al-Khalifa Al-Abbasi, Abbasi time. And when the Abbasis took over, he returned to Al-Kufa. Stayed there till the time of Imam Abu Ja'far Al-Mansuri. Al-Imam Abu Ja'far Al-Mansuri. Al-Imam Abu Ja'far Al-Mansuri also had something with Imam Abu Hanifa. And he has opponents. He had people against his, way of ruling. And Imam Abu Hanifa, because he knew that the Khalifa, the governor at that time, or the king at that time, wasn't in all cases just and fair, he didn't want to support him. And the political games, what happened? Imam Abu Ja'far knows how Imam Abu Hanifa was so famous. That's why he wanted to take him in his government. He wanted to hire him as judge. At that time, Imam Abu Hanifa refused. He said, I cannot support your government by being one of your government. I will not be a judge. So he got angry of him and he issued the decision to be arrested. They put him into jail and he died in the jail. That is the most authentic narration about Imam Abu Hanifa. Some narration said he came out of jail and after 2 days he died. Some people said that they poisoned him inside the jail. And some people said he is naturally died in jail. So he died when it was 100, the year of 150, when he was 70 years old. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower him with his mercy. I know it was a long journey, but we alhamdulillah, we couldn't miss the most important parts. Alhamdulillah, mostly more than 4 hours total in the 3 parts when we talk about Imam Abu Hanifa. After this long journey, everyone will wish if he was following the Hanafi madhab. Because when you hear about that great scholar, next time we will hear about Imam Malik. Inshallah, after you hear about Imam Malik, you will wish if you are Maliki, then you hear about Imam Shafi'i. When you get to know about, you will wish that if you are following Madhab Shafi'i, and at the end of the time, you will wish if you are Hanbali, following Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal. And as a matter of fact, we are following whom? Allahu Akbar, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's the best thing that we can conclude and finish our lecture with. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Take 2 minutes, inshallah, to pray sunnah. Inshallah, we have some of the cookies and Isha, I know that's the Isha time, but take break. And some of the cookies, Sister Auntie Mariam brought some of the food, and Brother Mu'tasim, may Allah bless him, brought some of the cookies and the food for us. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every one. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.